So, number 3. In the circuit shown, we've got a 9-volt supply. We've got a zener diode connected with a resistor. The resistor is 150 ohms, and the zener is a 5232. So, put the pluses and minuses in that circuit. Show the pluses and minuses at the 9 volts. Show the pluses and minuses at the 150 ohms. Show the pluses and minuses at the anode and the cathode. At the anode, do you have a plus or a minus? Plus. So plus at the anode, minus at the cathode. The diode is forward biased. So, given this information, find the current in the circuit. The circuit is drawn for us. Draw the graph of the circuit. So, let's find the current in the circuit. Well, what is the voltage at the zener diode? 0.7. Because it's forward biased, the voltage is 0.7. So we don't consider the 5.6. The 5.6 is only if it's reverse biased. Therefore, what is the voltage at the resistor?
8.3.
Is it 9 minus 0.7? 8.3 volts. Okay? We know the value of the resistor, 150 ohms. So what is the current? Is it V over R? 8.3 over 150. How much? $55 or 65? 55. 55 milliamps. Okay, so that's the circuit. Let's draw the graph. How do I show the graph? I first label the axis V forward, I forward. Why do I emphasize these two? Because the circuit is forward biased. And then on the graph, what do I show? 0.7 volts. What about the current up here? 55 milliamps. Make sense? So that's number 3. See, it's not that complicated. All you have to do is keep in mind the fact that the zener is forward biased or not. Let's go to page 7 for just a second. That this business of 0.7 is a rule of thumb, okay? Look at the last rating on page 7. Forward voltage at a forward current of 200 milliamps. How much? 1.1 volt in the maximum column, okay? There is a column for typical, there is a column for minimum. They don't bother to show those values. So it could be as high as 1.1 volt. We're using 0.7, but it could be 0.8, 0.9, okay? So that's what it is. If I recall, when we did lab 1, okay, and we measured the voltage across that zener voltage, it was around 0.7, 0.8, okay? If you go back in your lab notes for the first lab, you'll see that the voltage was around 0.7, 0.8. Okay, let's do number 4 now.